Hello and welcome to a brand new week on my channel. My name is Samantha and today I'm revisiting a recent collaboration with Revolution Pro, and it is of course the Revolution Pro Nath collaboration. It is limited edition. I also wanted to share with you that I did contact Adam Minto, the owner of Revolution Pro, and asked him on your behalf how long these were going to be available, because I mentioned in my original video, and I know a lot of you don't actually purchase limited edition palettes, so I wanted to check how long these were going to be around for, and Adam actually came back to me and said that these should be available until at least spring. So if you obviously didn't want to purchase straight away for whatever reason, they should be available until spring next year. So that was really good to find out that information. I also wanted to try out a few more shades, especially from this face palette as well, which I have done today. So this is your contour and highlighter palette. So it's beautiful, it's baby pink, I just absolutely love it. I will link the original video down below so you can visit that, and that gives you a real in-depth look around both of these palettes. It gives you swatches. Obviously I wanted to just try out a few more shades, tell you about the shades that I've tried and what I think of this palette, plus obviously try another look from the eyeshadow palette. Now these open like this, so you have to lift it up like that. They are magnetized. I'm still finding that I want this to stand up and it doesn't, it closes. And then I go back, so for example, I'm putting on the contour there, and I'm going back in, and you just have to open it each time, and it is just a little bit time consuming and a little bit annoying, but I did get there with it. Now I used this shade here, so that one there, so Desert. So I used that to warm up my face and then bronze and contour my face. I then used the shade Paradise, which is this one here, that one, and it is the it's a little bit more shimmery actually. This one is definitely matte, so Desert is matte, and then you've got Paradise, which is the marbled effect shade there, and that one has a little bit of shimmer. That's all I've got on here. I have got a blush as well from one of the Revolution's blush palettes, but obviously I will list everything down below for you. So I tried those two shades together on the face, really like how they look. But I actually set my face, now I'm using the Revolution and Imagination Highlight to the Moon palette. I'm trying to use that one up at the moment. But I thought actually I'd trial the banana shade. Now I must say that it's a little bit more yellow than the banana shade in the Imagination palette. But I thought I would trial it anyway. So I put that here, just to set everything, but it was just too yellow to go under the eye, unfortunately. But still, worked very well for where I put it anyway. But really like these shades. In my original video, for some reason, this shade did not blend. It looked like it just stuck here. I don't know why that was, but you can see that it's blended beautifully today, no issues at all. So that is the face palette, and I will definitely be using that again. So loved that. Now we move on to the eyeshadow. Oh, and one more thing that I just wanted to point out, which I don't know if you've noticed, but when you look at this, it is dirty there. Now hopefully I'll be able to wipe that away, but one thing I will say is that the pans in the face palette are a little bit small. I would prefer that these two in particular were a little bit bigger, just because when you use a like a face brush, these are just too small, and I'm getting product on the side of the packaging. What I would say is that I would have preferred the colours of the palettes to be switched around. So I would have preferred the face palette to be burgundy and the eyeshadow to be pink, for the reason that I've just stated, that when you put your brush in here, the pans are a little bit small, and then you're hitting the side. So I would have preferred the packaging to be a deeper colour, and that would eradicate that. But moving on to the eyeshadow palette now. You've seen a little bit of that a moment ago if you've not seen my original video. So this is what it looks like. It is deeper, it is burgundy. And yeah, really like the, well actually I wish that it was pink, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of burgundy, but it works you know, for what it is. When I open it up, you've got these shades. Now, what I really wanted to do was actually use this shade here. So I wanted to go in quite neutral and then have a spotlight in the middle using that shade in the middle called Striking. I did do that, but it's actually not that striking on the eye, unfortunately. I wanted something a little bit more. So what I did was I then went in over the top with Sketch. So I did actually want to use Sketch initially, but more on the inner corner. I wanted to have much more of a really intense inner corner, but I actually used those two colours on top of each other, and I'll be sharing that with you in a moment. So I think in the original video I went in with the shade Darling, which is this one here. Now I went in with that one thinking that it was going to be like a rosier, like a rose gold shade, and I think I had to double up on that. I did. I went in with Darling first of all, so that shade, then I went over the top with Mesmeric. And I've had to do that again with this shade because it looks beautiful in the pan and you think you're going to get a great payoff, but actually my eye looked very dark. So what I'm going to do is now show you what I mean and show you how I created this look. Okay, so the first shade I went in with was the shade Mystery, and I'm using the Primark 251 Iron Crease Contour Brush, which looks like that. And Mystery is this shade here, so it's like a grey tone, but actually it looks absolutely beautiful on the eye. It has a little bit of pink to it when you put it on the eye. So I'm just going to start applying that. And you can see that it's not, well, it has got a little bit of a cool tone to it, but it certainly doesn't look as grey as it did in the pan. So there it is there. There it is on the eye, and I really like that. So that's a double layer. I do tend to always mention this, that I build it up a little bit. So that is the base or transitional shade laid down. Now I'm going in with an eye contour brush from Primark, and I'm going in with the shade Espresso, which is this cool tone brown here. I thought purple and cool tone browns would work very well together, but again this looks a little bit different. So I expected it to be a very cool toned brown, and then on the eye it really warms up a little bit and has a little bit of red to it, which looks beautiful. So I'm just going to pop that through the crease. Yeah, very warm, certainly not as cool as it looks in the pan. And like I say, it's got a little bit of red to it. It's a beautiful colour, absolutely love it. I'm just going to get my original brush with a little bit of Mystery on there and then just blend that through. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with Espresso again through the crease. Love it. very rich, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, I'm now swapping over to the same brush, or same type of brush. I just need my colour switcher, which I picked up from Primark. Okay, and it looks like this. I'm just going to clean my brush off because I used this for the black as well. And I'm just going in with Mystery to start with. I'll just take that underneath and up. Now I'm going in with Espresso just on the tip of the brush and going as close to that lash line as I can. I'm actually just going to take that down a little bit and use Mystery on the first brush, the fluffy brush. That's better. I want it to be very smoky, not too dark, but I want it definitely smoky anyway. Like that. Okay. I'm going to put the black on at the end. Now what I did was, so I wanted to go in with the shade is Striking, so I went in with the purple shade to start with and I put it on with my finger, and even when you swatch it, it looks amazing. No, actually I've just missed out a step. I'm just going in with Espresso again. I've just forgotten, I took it in quite like a spotlight. That's it. I'm getting carried away, but obviously I can be forgiven because it's my anniversary and I'm thinking about my husband a lot today, obviously. Okay, and I'm just going to now apply that purple with a finger. Now, when you put it on, so obviously this is exactly what I did. You can see that, yes, you can see that there's a purple there, but there was no, you know, when you put or apply a shade in the middle as a spotlight, I want it to be a spotlight and I wanted it to be light. This looks beautiful on the finger. It looks beautiful in the palette, that middle shade, that one there, but applied with a deeper shade, it just doesn't shine. And I found that with that shade Darling as well, and that's why I had to go over the top with that. So I looked at that and yes, it is a beautiful shade, but it just doesn't give me that highlight that I want. So I then went in again with that shade and I applied more. Like that. And it still didn't do what I wanted. I'm just going to clean my finger off on a wipe. So you can see the difference. Yes, you can see the purple, but you can't see any light, which is obviously what you use as a spotlight. So then I thought, well, actually I was going to use Sketch as the inner corner highlight. Why don't I just pop that over the top and see what that does? So that's exactly what I did. So that is that beautiful foiled shade. When you apply it on a finger or using your finger or a brush, just be very careful. It is so soft. It feels like butter, but it also feels like, you know, it's so soft that you could damage the shadow if you press too much. It's that kind of beautiful shade. So then I just went over the top using that shade, and then it came to life. And I must say that this shade is beautiful. It seems strange to me that this palette, using it for the second time, I've had to do the same thing, as in double up on the shimmers. So I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've got this palette. Obviously, it's not an issue. I love the shades in here. It's created a beautiful look, which I'm very, very pleased with. It's given me like a rosy golden tone, which I am absolutely thrilled about, which is actually what I expected that Darling shade. Let me just open it again. I expected that shade to be like. In fact, actually, it just looks so beautiful, doesn't it? I love it. Absolutely love it. So I'm just going to get a little bit more espresso and just do exactly what I did on the other eye. Just blend that out a little bit. Then I'm now going to go in with the black, which is called Era, and it is there. So a little of this goes a long way. I've actually used this a couple of times, and you can see where you really do not need a lot of this. It is so pigmented, even though I think it's swatched a little bit not as dense as I would have expected it, you know, from applying it and it being so pigmented. But yeah, it is just beautiful. So I'm just going to apply that, and you can see you just do not need a lot of it. And I'm just going to take it up a little way through the crease slightly, not too much. And I mean, I literally hardly touched it, and it's going all the way, you know, where I want it basically. Absolutely a beautiful shade, and it's giving me the drama that I want on this very special day. Okay, really happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pencil brush. This is the PS Pro Shading Eye Brush, but obviously from Primark, but any pencil brush will do, of course. And I'm just going into Sketch. Now, I put Sketch on, I applied it before I actually went over the top of the purple shade with it. So I went in there. You're going to see a slight difference with it, because this is a lot more gold than the other side. So what I wanted to do is lighten it a little bit. So I went in with the shade Classy, which is that shimmery shade there, and just went over the top just to lighten it up a little bit. And that is very, very intense. So that is the eyeshadows laid down. What I will say is that although, yes, the shades in here really did come up a little bit differently to what I expected, especially the purple shade. I really thought that that was going to pack a punch on the eye, because I have actually trialled out a number of Revolution's purple shades, and they really do come up incredible. But this just left me a little bit, I don't know, wanting more. I wanted it to really shine, and it didn't shine. It was only when I put the gold over the top that it really created a beautiful look. I mean, it was beautiful on its own, but I just felt that it was lost next to that brown shade. But again, you'll have to let me know your thoughts, and you know, are you trialing this palette and what are you thinking about it? Now I'm going to try a little bit more of the pigment pomade. I made a little bit of a mess of this in my last video when I used this, but I'm going to use the same brush, which is this one. It's a Revolution Pro 160 brush. Now I found with this one that it's best actually just to apply the product there rather than here, because I found that my eye was getting sore. When you press down on this bit, you get the metal on your eye. So I'm just putting it onto the first part of the brush and then using it like that, and that works a little bit better, and I don't get a sore eye. So as always, I'm just applying it halfway. And again, it just adds a little bit more to the eye. Like that. Beautiful. Love that. And now I'm going to apply the mascara, which of course is the Mascara Revolution. Again, I'm just scraping off the excess. And get the hair out of the way. I love how it brushes my eyelashes upwards. Absolutely beautiful. And it's like my eyelashes have just had a lovely comb. Obviously they have with that brush, but they just look so lovely. So really love that mascara still. So that is my eye look complete using the Revolution Pro Nath limited edition eyeshadow palette by Natalia. Really love that still. I'm really impressed with the shimmers. Yes, I had to double them up again, but I really love the look that I've created. If I often do double up eyeshadows, especially when you want that glow. The purple was a beautiful shade, and it looked beautiful when I swatched it on my finger. Whoops. And it looks amazing, you know, in the actual palette. But for some reason, and you saw that, it just got lost in the brown eyeshadow base. But as soon as I put that sketch shade, which is right above it, over the top, it just looked amazing. The face palette again, I just love some of the shades in here. I love the contour. You can see that it blended out. I don't know why it didn't blend out in the original video. Perhaps I don't know why it was. Perhaps it was just me. But yeah, it's done or blended out beautifully today. Really love that shade, the marble shade beside it. Gives me a glow, just stunning. And the banana shade, not too bad, but it's just a little bit deep for under the eye. So as always, I would love to hear your thoughts on my eye look. What are you thinking about the palette itself? Have you purchased these, and what are you thinking to the eyeshadows? Like I say, it's a second look that I've created, and both times I've had to double up on the eyeshadows because what they look like in the pan doesn't necessarily or isn't necessarily what they look like on the eye. So yeah, love your thoughts on that. Love this collaboration, love this collection. I mean, I always say that I will always support Revolution where I can, because I just love the brand, whether it's Revolution Pro, I Heart Revolution, Revolution or Obsession, especially with collaborations, because you know, the collaborators and the brand work so hard to create these products for us. And although, you know, there are little bits that, you know, I possibly would change, I know that they have worked very hard. I just also wish that it would stand up. But if that is my only concern, then, you know, that is fine. I do actually love how it opens. So my second visit to these palettes have been a very positive one, and on my very special day of my husband and our anniversary, we're nearly at 30 years being married, so we're nearly there, and like I say, I wanted a special look for our special evening ahead, and I really do think that I've created it. I absolutely love this look. So if you have just stumbled across my channel, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to watch further videos. Like I say, always, I try my best to bring you the new Revolution products, and I do try and recreate and go back, or I should say I go back to the palettes and recreate different looks. So I hope that you've enjoyed this today, but as always, until tomorrow, thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Bye.